Hello internet dwellers, lazy loner here. As I was brainstorming new video ideas with my kids, they suggested I explore the topic of gacha games. I asked them what is gacha? They explained that gacha encompasses an entire genre of games characterized by randomized item acquisition mechanics like Genshin Impact, so I told them but these are just loot boxes, but they disagreed right away, insisting that gacha was distinct from traditional loot box systems. Determined to understand the nuances, I took a shallow dive into the world of gacha. The origins of gacha, which in Japanese means by chance or random, somewhere around these lines, can be traced back to the Japanese gachapon toy capsules introduced by Bandai in the late 20th century. These gachapon machines, which first appeared in the 1960s, dispensed small toys encased in plastic capsules for a set price. The allure of gachapon lay in the element of surprise, as customers didn't know which toy they would receive until after purchasing and opening the capsule. This randomized distribution method quickly gained popularity in Japan, becoming a ubiquitous feature of arcades, toy stores, and vending machines across the country. Reflecting on my childhood, memories flood back of the Panini album stickers craze during the Italia 90 World Cup in 1990. I vividly recall owning my own Panini Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles album, which was like a comic book with empty placeholders which you had to fill with high-quality printed stickers to complete the story. The nostalgia of those bygone days. The thrill of purchasing sticker packs, eagerly tearing them open to uncover either joy or disappointment, or usually both. And as the album neared completion, the quest for elusive stickers intensified and the scarcity of certain stickers added to the excitement, fueling fervent trades with friends in pursuit of completing our prize collections. The satisfaction of finding the second half of a coveted picture, and the satisfaction of removing the peel and carefully positioning the sticker in its correct place. Oh, the joy of those simpler times. But I digress. Enough walking down memory lane and back to gacha. Inspired by the success of gachapon, in 2010, Konami released the game Dragon Collection on Gree, a Japanese social networking platform. This was the first game designed around the gacha mechanic, and needless to say the game was an instant hit and it topped the mobile gaming charts in Japan. And also needless to say the floodgates were opened, and game developers began incorporating similar mechanics into video games, giving rise to the genre known as gacha games. In these games, players spend virtual currency to acquire randomized in-game items, characters, or rewards, often with varying rarities and drop rates. The free-to-play model, coupled with the allure of obtaining rare or exclusive rewards, incentivizes players to invest both time and money into these games. But I hear some of you say this is just plain old loot boxes. And to this I would say you're somewhat right, the boundary lines are blurry, but you'll soon see the distinction. Gacha is Japanese. And when I say Japan, several things pop to one's mind. Sony Walkman, kawaii, and anime. And so gacha games are often populated with anime-style characters, colorful graphics, and intricate storylines. Gacha mechanics are a little bit different. In gacha games, players are presented with the option to make pulls or rolls, akin to rolling dice in order to obtain items, characters, or other rewards. The outcome of each pull is randomized, and depending on the game, players may have the opportunity to trade the items or characters they acquire through these pulls for additional chances to make more pulls. I remember watching my kids gathered around the TV when one of them is pulling wishes in Genshin Impact, and the thrill and the anticipation in their eyes watching the wish cutscene unfold, and the cheers if they see the gold outline of a rare character or weapon, and wonder to myself, what's so special? In gacha, pulls reward you with characters and weapons which directly impact gameplay. Characters have unique abilities and playstyles, while weapons affect damage output and combat effectiveness, as opposed to loot boxes which usually provide cosmetic items. One of the weird concepts I saw when my kids were playing Genshin Impact is the idea that they can and sometimes need to instantly transform their protagonist to several other characters during gameplay. Which is absurd, it's totally illogical. Where were these other characters hiding? In the protagonist's pockets? But who am I to judge? Gacha games usually have banners, which are limited time events or promotions within the game that features a selection of new, old, or variants of characters, weapons, or other items with increased drop rates, usually accompanied by some incentives like guaranteed rewards to increase player engagement. Even during their most critical study days between exams, my kids would come and ask me for permission for a brief gameplay session next Friday or whatever, as the new Genshin Impact banner is dropping. Gacha favors consecutive pulls, which are done in batches like the 10x wishes in Genshin Impact, providing more chances for rarer items as opposed to one pull at a time. Some games also implement what they call a pity system, like if a player hasn't received a 5-star character after a set number of pulls, the pity system ensures they will receive one on their next pull. I think by now you can see the technicalities that define Gacha, but it's much more than this. While the pulls and their thrill is integral, the essence of Gacha extends far beyond this fundamental aspect. Without the captivating narrative, engaging gameplay, intricate storyline, and of course the social element, Gacha would merely amount to a simplistic card-flipping game. The allure of Gacha lies in its ability to immerse players in rich, immersive worlds, where each pull holds the promise of uncovering new characters, items, or story developments. It's the synergy of these elements that elevates Gacha from a mere mechanic to a compelling gaming experience, fostering a sense of excitement, discovery, and camaraderie among players. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Reading about Gacha, I discovered that in 2012 a specific form of Gacha was banned by law in Japan called Kompu or Complete Gacha. One of the most notorious games for this type of gacha was the 2010 The Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, which was published by none other than Bandai Namco. How convenient. In Kompu Gacha there are desirable items. The desirable item cannot be rolled for directly. The player must collect, that is, pull a specific set of other items, and upon completion of said set, hence the name Complete, they unlock the desirable item. The first few items in a set can be rapidly acquired, but as the number of missing items decreases, it becomes increasingly unlikely that further pulls will complete the set, since eventually one single specific item is required. And since all of these games included some form of virtual currency to buy pulls, which in turn required real-life money to buy through microtransactions, this form of gacha attracted whales. What are whales, I hear you say? In the gacha community, whales are heavy spenders, whereas dolphins are moderate spenders, and finally, F2P are free-to-play players. Anyway, some whale is rumored to have spent over $50,000 in just 2 months on one of the numerous Kompu gacha games out there. Then the outrage started on social media, prompting some social platforms to react by banning this mechanic on 2012, followed in the same year by a comment from Japan's Minister of State for Consumer Affairs on the matter saying, "I feel social games are generating an extremely strong passion for gambling in users." And finally, the ban was enacted as part of the Act Against Unjustifiable Premiums and Misleading Representations, commonly referred to as the Gacha Law. Now, before I wrap up, I think whether it's traditional gacha, Kompu gacha, or even loot boxes for that matter, they are all deceptively alluring, tapping into one's gambling instincts and robbing you. Whether you're a spending whale, dolphin, or a free-to-play player grinding your way through the game, these systems can and will drain your finances and time in return for some cheap thrills. Instead, I believe a worthwhile investment would be enjoying a meticulously crafted single-player campaign in a AAA game, where dedicated developers have poured their expertise and passion into crafting, and immersing yourself into the experience without the distractions of character pulls or the anticipation of forthcoming banners. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep gaming. Lazy Loner out.